All right, so let's see, Libra. I think for a lot of you, you've been having a hard time lately, kind of been doing a lot of things solo or just feeling like you're doing it by yourself. This could be, maybe you're in a relationship, but you still feel like you're carrying the relationship. Maybe, it's a little too one-sided. It's just kind of like the weight of the world is on your shoulders and you're trying to it's that uphill battle, it's like you're trying your best to just like get through, taking things, day by day. With the Four of Pentacles, this is talking about just hanging in there, hanging on. It really kind of feels like you're focusing on financial issues. There could be, some finance, I don't want to say crisis, but definitely some financial issues here. But it really kind of feels like you're just hanging on to like everything you can, really being careful with your spending. But again, it just feels like a lot is falling on you. It could even be like maybe you handle the finances and, maybe your partner, like I said, is just not putting forth. Again, it just kind of feels a little one-sided. It just doesn't feel like either they're putting in their fair share or maybe they're spending when you're trying to save or, it's just like kind of two different energies. That's just kind of like not really finding that middle ground. With the Eight of Cups, this is someone just trying to kind of walk away. This is someone saying, this is too hard. I cannot keep going. I can't keep doing this by myself. If, I'm going to feel like I'm alone, then I may as well be alone. With the Four of Swords, this is pulling your energy back. This is healing. This is getting your mind right. This is taking some time for you, focusing on you, and doing what it is that you need to do. With the Fool card, this is you going full force, going towards your new beginning, really taking that leap of faith. And like I said, focusing on you, especially focusing on some healing here. All right, Libra, get it. All right, let's see what is going on here. It just feels like somebody's been really having a hard time. It's like a struggle. I keep getting something about listening too. It's like you're trying to get your partner to listen to you, and it's just like they're not listening. They're not hearing you. With the Nine of Cups, Eight of Cups, and the Two of Wands, that's clarifying that Ten of Wands. So, you want to go towards your happiness, but you have a decision to make here. You're at that crossroads. What do you want to do? Which way do you want to go? Do you want to keep going the way that you're going, or do you need to change something? That way you can get towards your happiness. With the Knight of Cups, again, this is kind of focusing on what it is that you want. It's focusing on your feelings, how you feel about this situation. And again, how do you feel about this decision that you need to make? Which way do you want to go? You know where your heart is being pulled. You know what it is that you want, but it's just like you feel kind of stuck. For some of you, I get you almost feel kind of guilty for making a decision or making this choice of, based on, what it is that you want. All right. Let's clarify the Four of Pentacles, please. Four of Pentacles. All right, so we have the Queen of Swords, King of Cups, and the World. All right. So, again, like I said, it feels like somebody's kind of hanging on to their coin, could be focusing on finances. But it kind of feels like, too, somebody is just keeping hold a little too tight of something here, almost out of fear. So this could be, hanging on to this situation and not letting it go because you're fearful of starting a new beginning. You're fearful of what happens if I put down these Ten of Wands. What happens if I ask my partner for more help? What happens? It's just like, it's almost like that fear of the unknown. So again, Queen of Swords, King of Cups, and the World card coming out, clarifying this Four of Pentacles. So Queen of Swords, this is really saying, I want open, honest, truthful, to the point communication, but this is also setting up boundaries. You could be pulling away, like I said, a little bit, especially emotionally, from your partner. Maybe things have gotten a little cold between the two of you. With the King of Cups, it does kind of feel like, your partner is maybe not as like loving or expressive of their feelings towards you, and so that's a little bit worrisome. Maybe that's why you're hanging on so tight. But with the World card, this is going towards victory. This is going towards success. However, I'm getting a little bit of delay here on your part, and that's not bad. It's not saying like, oh, you've missed this opportunity. It's like, victory, success denied for you, Libra. No, it's just saying that, again, there's a little bit of a delay. And it just feels like because of that Four of Pentacles energy of hanging on too tight, that's kind of what's causing the delay. Just the fear of releasing. The fear, like I said, of going into the unknown. All right, so the Eight of Cups, we have the Four of Wands coming out, we have the Six of Cups, and we have the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, so for some of you, you are walking away from a marriage, walking away from a soulmate type energy here. For some of you, this is kind of just waiting, waiting to see, is this relationship going to go to the next level? Are things going to be more committed between us? Are things going to be more equal between us? For some of you, this is waiting on starting a family with this person. It's just like this person and you are kind of on the different pages. This person could be telling you one thing, something that you want to hear, and it's like, okay, that works at the moment, but now you're starting to question, okay, but when is it actually going to happen? Yeah, and as I say that, the Four of Swords, the Magician comes out, the Page of Wands, and then Temperance comes out. So yeah, so again, this is somebody wanting to take the relationship to the next level of commitment. Either, this could be, what am I trying to say here? Where you're exclusive. This could be getting engaged. This could be marriage. This could be, starting a family. Whatever the case is, whatever taking it to the next level is, what that means for you. Somebody wants to do that. Well, like I said, the other person, they're just not there yet. Something about not being on the same page. Yeah, it's like something is off balance. Like I said, I keep getting something being too one-sided. I'm getting kind of like a selfish, almost immature energy. Or somebody just kind of looking out more for themselves and kind of like piling stuff onto the other person in the relationship. Yeah. With the Page of Wands, it does feel like, you're going to get some kind of news, communication. With the Magician here, this is, again, pulling back your energy, and it's when you pull back that energy, you start that healing process, that things start to happen. You start manifesting. You start figuring out things that you want. You start figuring out where your passion lies. Where can, that passion be ignited? Where is it that I want to go? What is it that I want? It's like you're finding that balance on your own. So Libra, even if this is, someone you're married to, or this is a soulmate person, you are separated from this person, or wanting to separate, needing to separate, whatever your case is, always remember you can find that happiness within yourself. You don't need to find, within somebody else. And as I'm saying that, Page of Cups comes out. All right. So the Fool card is clarified by the Queen of Pentacles, Page of Cups, and the Page of Pentacles. So again, this is talking about self-love. This is talking about removing those blockages out of your way. This is talking about, kind of getting that idea of like a new start, a new beginning, a new foundation. Like I said, with that Fool, this is having, the faith to take that leap, to see what it is you want. Like I said, the Page of Cups speaks of self-love. It speaks of creativity. It speaks of removing blockages. With the Queen of Pentacles, again, this is finding your own power. This is your stability. This is your own security. This is, I can do this on my own. It's a little bit of a stubborn energy, and that's good. Sometimes it's good to be stubborn. Sometimes it's good to set up those boundaries, going back to that Queen of Swords and Queen of Pentacles. We have two different, Queen energies, but I'm feeling like it's the same thing. And, just because it's Queen does not mean it cannot be for my guys out there too. So keep that in mind. So yeah, so two different energies, but it's like those are the qualities that you are stepping up into. You're setting up those boundaries, and you're realizing you can give yourself your own security, your own stability. You can provide this for yourself. If this person isn't on the same page with you, you don't need them to be. You can move on. The decision is yours. We all have free will. All right, so let's get some oracle cards here. All right, so we have the card of Mountain and another 6. I don't know why, but 6s are catching my eyes for you guys. Okay, and then you have Intention. So you have, like I said, Mountain. And then you have Intention. Okay. Hopefully that didn't catch too much, another train. Okay, as I was saying, sixes have been kind of catching my eye for you guys, and you got another six with this card here of Mountain. So sixes are talking about, they're talking about love, harmony, relationships. With this particular card of Mountain, again, it kind of, I keep going back to this 10 of Wands here for me. That carrying him up the mountain, that weight of the world being on your shoulders, a struggle. When a mountain is in your way, you have to find another way. Just because it's an obstacle does not mean there's not a way around it. And that's just what I'm feeling like. Even though there's a struggle here, does not mean that there is not a way around this. You can find a way around this, okay? You can get through this. You can get past this. Again, with intention, this is setting your intentions. This is talking about manifestation. This is talking about what it is that you want, making like a goal board, setting up that board, seeing it, visualizing it, and like I said, and really manifesting it, especially having the Magician card out here. Again, this is bringing something into fruition for yourself. So good deal. All right, let's get some Angel Oracle, and there goes another train. Okay, we're just going to let it go by. I'm not going to pause. All right, let's see what else is coming out, please, for Libra. Yes. Communicate clearly. All right. So again, communication is kind of off. It feels, like I said, very one-sided. So if you want to meet in the middle, you've got to communicate with your partner if you want to fix this. If not, like I said, you always have that free will. You always have that choice of, going at it alone. So again, options are yours. You have them. All right. So if you wanted to make this work, I feel like you could, but you've got to communicate. Let your person know. All right, let's get some more Oracle cards here for Libra. Any other messages, please, for Libra? Okay. So we have that one. And it says, I have found the one that my soul loves. All right, so remember, I said this was like a soulmate energy. For some of you, you are married to this person. So... okay, I did not realize it was that dark. I do apologize. All right, maybe that's why it's so hard for you to let go, too. All right, let's see. So we have life surfing. So feeling capable of overcoming adversity, no expectations, approaching life like a sport. So yeah, so that is perfect. No expectations, manifesting the heck out of things, raising that positive vibration, but working for it, too. You can't just send something out into the universe and expect to get it with not putting a little bit of effort into it. You know what I mean? All right. Let's get some more Oracle. And these are the Island Time Wellness Love Oracle. All right. Any other messages for Libra? Ooh, okay. Libra, a little spicy there. So we have seduction, attraction, flirting, dating, hooking up, temptation, third party, and interference. So is that what's going on? Okay, like I said, this is going to resonate differently, but there is a tough decision. Sometimes, even though this is a soulmate type of energy, if you're stuck carrying that heavy burden, that heavy load, and there's some trust issues going on, either you're the one being tempted or your partner is, and there's a tough decision, like I said, Two of Wands, that needs to be made here. And see, then we get a card. And see, for some of you, I have to say you are married to this person. You have wife, partner, interested in, love of a lifetime, wedding or event, a commitment or advancement. So remember, we talked about taking things to the next level in your relationship. Again, for some of you, you are already married to this person, maybe wanting to start a family. Yeah. But I keep getting, like I said, not being on the same page. And, I'm sorry, this could be because there is a third-party interference. So, just take it how it resonates. Bottom of the deck, we do have self-indulgence. And this seems pretty relevant to your situation, so I'm going to read it. Focus on self, self-worth, time to heal, shadow work, and self-appreciation. All right, so remember who you are, Libra. Focus on you. Like I said, Four of Swords, this, heal, pull your power back, take some time off, and focus on you, and appreciate yourself. If nobody else is going to appreciate you, you appreciate you. So, all right, Libra, that is what I have for you. So until next time, take care.